Here in front of us today is the 2000 GMC Safari. This Safari is equipped with a 4.3 liter V6 Vortec engine with the 4L60 4-speed transmission behind it. If you also have a Chevy Astro van, this is the same exact application and the same exact job that you will be able to perform. Don't forget to head on over to zhpgarage.com where you can get some merchandise like what I'm wearing right here. T-shirts, hats, stickers, work shirts, and other things coming available soon. So head on over to zhpgarage.com and check it out.
All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is get the vehicle up in the air. So you can do this on the ground, you just gotta get it up pretty high because we're gonna be dropping the gas tank. So you gotta get enough room, but just make sure you lift it on the lift points and then put a jack stand on all four corners. You wanna get it up level. So the only thing I would do different is if you're gonna jack stand this to get it in the air is I would jack it on the rear end and then put a jack stand on the housing, which would actually get you up higher because then you have the distance of the leaf springs in the housing to get it up higher to drop it down. So I'm gonna start by removing the filler. There's a 13 millimeter up here we're gonna take off. And then now I'm gonna take both these clamps loose here. You can use the 8 millimeter socket or a 5/16, whichever you like better. And that allows us to break this loose. We can pull our filler out of the way. Careful, you can have a little bit of gas in there. Don't be standing underneath it. You can see that we had to repair this already because somebody tried to siphon the gas. That's what messed up the fuel pump is they ran it, or they tried to run the vehicle with the gas tank empty. So now we're gonna disconnect the harness here. This is the fuel pump and the sender harness. So it has a little lock on here. We're gonna slide this back, get that out of the way, push this down. So that's gonna disconnect our power to our sender. So now we're gonna move our little cart area tools out of the way. And we have the luxury of using a tranny jack. I put 10 gallons of gas in this thing, so I know it's gonna have some weight to it. So we're gonna put blocks of wood in here. The tank, it kind of tapers down in the front, so more of the weight's gonna be in the back, and I wanna be in between the two straps so I can remove the straps out of the way. So I'm gonna try to be right here in the center of it. Now that we have the tank supported, we're gonna take the two straps off, and they're 50 millimeter bolts. We're gonna come in here and zap it loose. We're gonna take it all the way out. We wanna get these straps out of the way. So get it around the parking brake cables here, then we'll do the rear one, same thing. You wanna have tension on the tank when you do this, so nothing shifts. We're gonna take the lines loose here above the tank. They got quick connects. This one here, I can't pinch it, so I'm gonna use a pair of pliers and I'm gonna push the line on, make sure it's fully seated and squeeze the locks here. Here, click to release. Okay, so now we got all three of our lines disconnected. Now we're gonna finish dropping the tank, hold the tank. All right, so now we're at a decent working level. We're gonna blow this dirt off of here. We don't want any of this getting inside the tank, or at least amount as possible. So we'll just blow it away from us. We're gonna unplug our sender and our fuel pump to the side. We're gonna leave these on here for right now. Now we're gonna take this locking ring off. Just use a screwdriver and a hammer. So we're gonna start right here and we're just gonna rotate it counterclockwise. Hit it hard to get it past the lock initially. So we're gonna take the whole assembly out of here. And then we have a little sealing O-ring here. We're gonna take that out because we have a new one. So we'll trash that. We have our new assembly. And GM has a real problem with their connectors here at the pumps. So you can see the new one here, the sender is the same, but they changed the style of the plug. So they give you a little ponytail to splice it in. So now I'm gonna take the lines off. Kind of a pain to disconnect, but you can see that this little lock, that you need to remove that because we need to use that again. So then we're gonna take our little locks off here. We got a little screwdriver. You gotta lift up a little locking tab here, 2 locking tabs. Then you can slide it off. You can put it on your new one. Then do the next one. This is your EVAP. EVAP has a little pinch ones normally here. Get it off. We're gonna set that there for a second. Now we're gonna do, I believe this is the feed line. Got the same 2 locking tabs. Put that over here. And then now when we have the lines off, take our locking ring, put it on here. Okay, then we're gonna use a little bit of, which can use wheel bearing grease, trench gel, some sort of lubricant, oil, whatever you wanna use. Because these lines, all these lines have O-rings inside of them. Put them back on in order. You gotta line up our little locking tabs. So slide it on, quick, connect. About like so, you can give it a little pull, should lock on. So now we have our pump prepped. We're gonna take our new gasket and we're gonna slide it on here, slide it around the sender and the pickup, up into place. Now we're gonna pick up the whole assembly, we're gonna reinstall it. So the way this is clocked, the lines come right here, so we're gonna clock it this way. And then it does have this little tab, a little bump right there. So that lines up in the gas tank right here. So the pump is indexed, it only goes in one way. So if you're fighting it, make sure you got it lined up. So we'll get our sender float in there, we'll get our pickup, sock, make sure our lines are out of the way. And push down our pump, give it a little wiggle. It should line up with our little locking tab. We see our O-ring or our gasket all the way around, so it's nice and flat. I like that. And once it's started, now we just got to get it past this little bump right here, and it locks in right there. So this high spot needs to lock in right there in that tab. We're just going to come over here and give it a whack. Once we get that side started, we don't want to cock it. We'll come over on this side. Same thing. And we'll go around and check. They're all on the locking tab. So our ring is in there, all sealed up. We clean off our handprints and stuff from our plug, blow it out here. So we're just going to plug that in, that gets reused. And then our harness, like I showed, gets changed for our fuel pump. So we're going to get our new harness. Sometimes they do a pretty good job of matching up the colors, and sometimes they're a little iffy. We're going to plug this in here. Then this has a locking tab, so we'll go ahead and lock it. We don't need to get into this harness. This is enough right here, enough wires. We can put the butt connectors right here. And you wonder why they don't have the sealed butt connectors? Is because they don't want either an open flame or a heat gun shrinking the sealed connectors. The fumes are more flammable than the liquid of the gas. If you do feel daring enough to use a heat gun or a little torch, be careful, because of the fumes of the gas. It's not a good idea. So we're just going to take this connector and we're just going to lop it off here. So we're going to go right about here so we have room for the butt connectors. Roughly, we'll go about this long. Shorten this up. So you can see the difference. I don't know if you can tell on the camera that these two here are smaller gauge. So we know right away that the purple, this is hard to tell, see how it's purple. So this is going to be your sender wire. And then the small black is going to be your ground for your sender. So we can eliminate those. So now we have our ground for our sender and our sender wire right there. And then we have a bigger gauge black. Then we have like a tan grayish one here. It's kind of dirty, so it's hard to tell. So I would say that the gray would go to the gray, and then the white, or I mean the orange, because it has a black tracer on it, would be to the black. And if you wanted a reference, you can look at your pump here. You can see which one comes down. So these two here, they're both purple on the inside. Go to your sender, and then you have your white and your black, or not your white, it's like a gray and black to go to your pump. So it's not a bad idea if you have the option, because the blue butt connectors are for the bigger gauge wires. The littler ones here for the sender, signal, and ground should be the red or pink connectors, which are smaller terminals. But on the harness side here, they use all the same size wire. So we're going to use our large black, which I'm going to say is our fuel pump ground. Then I'm going to put large black to orange with a black tracer, large gray, which I'm going to say is our fuel pump voltage, which I'm going to go large gray. We have our small purple, which I'm going to say is going to go to purple. And then I'm going to do the small black. So now we have our new plug on there. So if you want to, you can tape that up or just leave it. I'm just gonna leave it just like that. Up all the way on the air part. Now we're gonna hand pump it up till we can get our lines hooked up and wiggle the tank. Make sure it's not binding on nothing going back in. So if you're gonna do this on the ground, you'd want to do a piece of wood here and a floor jack. So now I'm gonna hook the lines up. We got it close enough now. I already put some lube on there. Give it a little tug back and forth. So now we're gonna line it up here, the little notches with our mount. Move it back a little bit. We'll keep cranking it up. Wiggle it. It should go into place. I like to lube these bolts before I put them back in. So I'm gonna put some anti-seize on these bolts so we know it's not gonna gall up or have a problem going back together. Get it started by hand. Make sure we're not doing any cross threading. And I'm gonna come over to the other side. I wanna start those. I'm gonna snake this up so our harness is okay. Got it on the parking brake. These bolts kind of thread into the strap, so you gotta start them into the strap, then into the body. And you get it all started in there, tighten them back down. So I got the harness plugged back in for the fuel pump that we unplugged, and the filler hooked back up. So now I have the key. We're gonna see if it's fixed. I don't hear it. Let's see. Oh, there it is. So that's how you change a fuel pump in a Chevy or a GMC Safari van. Make sure you come back for the next video, like, share, subscribe. Go on over and pick up a t-shirt for the next one. Looks like I need to get one too. See you next time.